Love it. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Everyday Ecom Podcast. I'm joined with Isaiah Fritz. I love your last name, by the way.
Thank you.
What's the origin or background?
So I believe it's German or Switzerland
Mm,
where it came from, but my family has been in the United States since the Revolutionary War or before Revolutionary War. So I think they can trace it back to great 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 grandpa.
wow,
Uh, and so yeah, we're very American on my dad's side, and then my mom's side, there's some Romanian immigrants that came to America, and then also Canadian uh, from English immigrants from Canada. So
nice.
it's
I like
kind
it.
of a well-rounded
I
background.
like it. I like the historical roots. So tell us a little bit about yourself and an online selling partner. I'm very curious.
Absolutely. So I what online so what I do is I own a company and I'm the CEO of Online Selling Partner, and we work with brands to help them grow their sales on Amazon. We're very Amazon focused, Walmart focused, the e-commerce marketplaces. A lot of brands, they're really good at DTC or they're really good at selling to retail, but they don't really want to spend the time or focus on Amazon. Or the marketplaces. So what we will do is we'll purchase the inventory like any other wholesale client, and we take it from there. We're that turnkey solution for them, and we treat every brand like it's our own. And we have skin in the game because we're buying the inventory. And our goal is to just grow it on the Amazon platform. We work completely off margin. We do, all of our services for free, reseller removal, uh, taking control of your listings, making sure that the content is updated and it's looking good, um, doing all the keyword research and the growth with PPC advertising and all of that. Um, we manage all of that, and the only thing we ask is to be exclusive with these brands and to be able uh, to grow their brand through one seller. And a lot of brands have a problem with that. They're like, hey, isn't it better if I sell to 50 Amazon sellers? Well, if you have 50 Amazon sellers selling on the same listing, uh, no one is, focused on growing. Like if
Mm,
you're dividing it up between 50, everybody's getting like a couple percentage of your sales. So it's like, there's really no focus. So a lot of times your brand will go down, and also you have to be the buy box seller to do advertising on Amazon. So, some of your sellers might be advertising, some of them won't. Are they really doing an efficient job if they are doing advertising? All of these things are, important and to have control. And I know every brand has problems with Amazon. I mean, you're an Amazon seller, all the headaches that comes to it. So it's a lot easier for them, even instead of doing it themselves, even to partner with a company like ours. And that's our model today. That's what's been going on, and we have 32 employees in Indiana, and we have our warehouse in Indiana where we purchase products, and we're really good at getting stuff to FBA. Um, and we're really, also good at shipping FBM. So we do both of those things, and it's been really good. There's so many complexities to what we do, and it's just been fun uh, solving all the complexities. And we still have lots to learn, a lot of room to grow in this space, but we just want to be a good partner to all these awesome companies that trust us with their products.
nice. I like it. Uh, Walk us through what it would be like for a brand and like who are you guys looking for that's an ideal brand? I know you mentioned a lot and I want to kind of parse that out, especially on the PPC side. You mentioned you guys will help them with PPC, but I want to kind of get there a little later. But what's the ideal brand look like, and how does that uh, relationship kind of start? For,
Yeah, so the ideal brand would be a company that's you know at, at least doing $5 million outside of Amazon, or doing it, between all their resale partners and stuff, are doing approximately around $1 million on Amazon or more. We have brands all the way from they're doing 1 million to 5 million to 10 million in all different ranges. Um, and that we're not really category focused, like, hey, we only do sports and outdoors, but we'll do sports and outdoors, we do grocery, we do um electronics a little bit, we do several different categories. Some of the categories we don't focus on are cosmetics and um, clothing, and there's just a few that we try to stay away from, especially clothing, because of the reverse logistics part of it. And as you know, I mean, return rates can be very high, and that's just a whole nother ball game. And I really respect all those Amazon sellers that sell clothing, because I know it's hard work.
And the variations, color, size,
Yeah.
it gets daunting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And kind of going to the PPC side. So if you guys are kind of the hybrid model of agency and wholesale, if you are purchasing the inventory from, let's say, this brand, um, that's fitting this criteria, so now the margins are going to be a little slimmer, but are they responsible for advertising spend, or do you guys have to do your own advertising spend on the account?
That's a great question. Our margins are slim, super slim. Our we work off around a 20% gross margin with these brands. And then, after you add in our overhead and Amazon and all kinds of crazy stuff, we're trying to hit around a net of 10. So it doesn't leave a lot of money left over for PPC at all. So we, you know, have contributed small amounts to PPC where it makes sense, out of our own margin. But brands that are really aggressive and they're wanting to grow and really grow like that lifetime value of the customers and all that, they do contribute the PPC money for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, that would be a lot. Wouldn't that be a dream? If we could
Yeah,
spend, like, 20% A cost or 10% A cost and plus do everything else, like we wouldn't have any money left over. But
yeah. No, I was gonna say I think
tacos, that was saying. But yeah, go ahead.
it makes sense for the brands to contribute to marketing spend because it's their
Absolutely.
product, it's their brand at the end of the day that is getting pushed on
Yeah.
Amazon. So plus it's gonna affect organic and kind of get the flywheel going. I want to take a step back and kind of focus on like why you started the company or what was the purpose of it. I know we kind of touched upon it and I can take a good guess, but I want to hear from you like what is the purpose of starting the company and kind of uniting employees and uh, kind of running it day to day.
Absolutely. So, um, for me, I didn't start out with this model, right? So, I mean, I don't know if you want me to just kind of go back and tell like the story of how I got to this model, and because it kind of goes on with the purpose, like, because, you know, my um my original, like, me purpose of building a company is, I wanted to, obviously, as every entrepreneur's dream, to have to be my own boss and do all that, cool stuff, right? And I got to a point that I just started off reselling. So I just was buying stuff wholesale, reselling, just like all the other Amazon resellers out there. I wasn't providing any value to the brands. And one day, um, you know, one thing is Amazon doesn't like you buying liquidation. They don't like you buying, from like gray market areas. And I was buying a lot from liquidation, and Amazon, had gotten me in trouble for that. And so I said, hey, I know I need to start working with more the manufacturers and distributors with legit invoices. And anybody who's been in that role knows what I mean when you get those IP complaints or whatever. And so I definitely started focusing on that more, working directly with the manufacturers. So I started knocking on doors locally, and just, it was just me, one other guy at that time. And I got a manufacturer that I partnered with directly that was doing a few million, or a million on their own website, and they weren't doing anything on Amazon. and within 2 years we were doing 2 million on Amazon. And so that was really exciting to having that direct relationship with them. It really grew their staff, grew their sales, and it's that was awesome. I knew, I was like, wow, that this is actually a really good business model. So I I, I started hiring smart people, and said, hey, I want to actually turn this into a business. And so that's when I really started pushing that. And um and so yeah, then it's grown into what it is today, and we have some really lofty goals of where we want to go in the next 3 to 5 years. And we definitely want to be one of the uh well-known and bigger players in the space. uh
Yeah,
and so yeah, we're excited just
I
to be a
love it.
good part of these
I,
brands.
I love it. And first time we chatted, I saw you guys were going through EOS and the
Yes.
traction book, and kind of uniting your team together to row in the same direction towards a
That's right.
shared goal for the company as a whole, and individuals within the company for their personal goals, and also for your clients' goals. So I
That's right.
love that. Just love hearing it from you. What would you say is for your client side, or potential clients, kind of giving them this value
Yeah.
upfront and saying, what would you tell them is the three most important things on Amazon that they need to do in order to be successful? Like this is kind of your pitch to a potential client, or
Oh,
someone that's like someone that's like, hey, Isaiah, I need help. My Amazon sales are down.
yeah.
What would you recommend that I do?
Yeah, no, and I think I'm really really blessed to be able to say that we have a very good pipeline of clients, and we turn down more clients than we accept. For an invitation only company. But I will say, like, I love just bringing value, and I love helping people. I was just on the phone this week with one of my friends who owns a big clothing brand, and I was like, I really don't, we're not, I don't want to do clothing, right? And he's like, well, how can you help? And I was like, well, okay, I'll just give you some advice. And I was doing, just giving him some free consulting and stuff. So I like to help people. Um, but yeah, I would say, like, the three things to really make sure is, number one, it depends on what type of brand you are. If you're an established brand or if you're a new brand. Like, if you're an established brand, and those are the clients that we talk to a lot, I would say number one is controlling your distribution. A lot of people want to just sell to everyone, and sell, 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 and they hire the best sales reps to just sell to everyone. And that end up that hurts you in the long run with Amazon, because you don't have the control of price points, you have no control of your listings, you don't have any control. So if you're an established brand, really focus on controlling your distribution, and making sure that if you're going to sell on Amazon yourself, if you're going to have a partner do it, make sure that it's that you set it up to be able to do that. And it's definitely a shift, mindset shift, to be able to go from, hey, I want to just sell to everyone, to be like, no, I'm not going to sell to you. It's not going to help me to sell to 50 different Amazon sellers, right? So that's number one thing. And then making sure that your ecom your product is ready for e-commerce. Make sure your packaging is as small and light and but presentable as possible. This is definitely not retail, so it's totally different. Your retail packaging and everything is, like, very important as your customer's first impression of your product at retail. But the customer's first impression on Amazon is when they see that first photo, and they see the second photo and the third, and all those things, and they're already sold at that point when they get your product. So you don't have to just all them with the packaging and this big huge packaging. I mean, and you still want to have quality packaging and quality inserts and everything. So I think but making sure that it's optimized for the shipping. And um and so and I would say that the third things is really think about uh your competitors and your margins when you're looking at e-commerce. You have Amazon takes 15%. You have the shipping, obviously, which we just talked about. You got to really look at closely. You can use the Amazon FBA calculator, put some of your competitors in, put your product in, and you can see how much Amazon will charge to get it to your customer if you use FBA. In making sure that you are doing everything you can to cut costs to have the best margins. It's getting more and more competitive out there. But I mean, obviously, you don't want to lose your quality of your product. So, I mean, don't cut corners to lose quality of a product, but but make sure that it's you in the world today where interest rates are so high and everything, you got to make sure you have enough a margin. And also advertising is going through the roof, as you know. It's getting more and more expensive to advertise online. And it's just because of the competitive nature of it. 75% of new sellers are Chinese. So because of that, the Chinese factories have really low price costs compared to a lot of Americans. So they can spend a lot more money on advertising. So they're pushing the advertising prices up on Amazon and a lot of the other platforms. And so it's you just got to be creative. You got to be smarter than the next guy. Make sure you build a brand, build a following. All these things are really important. So anyway,
Yeah, I like
I don't
that.
know if that was too long-winded, but
I know
that's my
I know and I know there's a lot more than three, but just I think prioritizing prioritizing it in our head either as a seller or for clients is important. And then just talking about it because yeah, there are probably 100 things that
yes.
we have to do, but hearing like controlled distribution, listing optimization, and pricing, and then competitors and margin. Like I think
And
focusing.
your packaging.
Yeah, that's key. That's key. Um, kind of on a follow up to that. Um, let's say you tell that to potential client and they agree and they see all these things that you're saying. You're like, okay, and they're like, yeah, this makes total sense. We're seeing our distribution has gone out of hand. We've given it to 30 resellers and they've all listed on Amazon and it's been priced down to the bottom. We've seen our margin kind of go away because we don't have XYZ strategy. What would you, and they're chatting with you, what would you say is your guys's superpower at online seller partner that you can turn that around? Like, what's the thing where they're pitching it to you and you can hit it out of the park, so to speak?
Well, I'll say that it's a lot simpler than you know, I've learned this. As things get more complex, you realize that things get simpler. And what I mean by that is the a lot of people in business can't get the basics right. Okay. And if you double down and really focus on the basics and really focus on what everyone knows you need to do to be successful, that is you're going to win. And so, like for example, like Elon Musk, right? I've heard that he doesn't have patents or anything on the Teslas because, one thing he's like, I know that I do it the best. Yeah, sure, compete with me, try. That's the pitch anyway, and that makes sense. He doesn't have necessarily like the secret sauce. It's just hard work and doing all the basics the best as possible. Like we want to be the best at logistics. We want to be the best at improving conversion rate. We want to be the best that we can do. And we're doing all the things that everybody knows you need to do, connecting with your customer and to sell more and, reducing cost cutting, all these things that we have to do, but we're going to do it in mass and do it in bulk. And that's what we're focused on every single day, all day long. And yeah, where most brands like they're focused on growing their manufacturing, growing their product base, growing their customer base also, and all those things, and that's what they should be focusing on. And we can double down on all the annoying Amazon things, and so just having the time, to focus on that in your company, getting all the basics right, and making sure that you're staying up to date with all the newest things and the newest trends and staying relevant is what we do a lot of. And yeah, and it's not a hard answer.
Sure. No, that makes total sense. And do you guys use any project management software to um, keep track of all of those basic logistics, CBR, optimizing listings, PPC, keywords? Is there any tools and software that you guys are just in
So
love with that help?
we've used different softwares for different things. We don't just have one software. And we've also built our own custom softwares for, that because we can't find a third party solutions for different things. So there's so many facets of this business, right? Because you got the whole logistics part of purchasing, warehouse management. So we have a whole warehouse management purchasing software. We have a internal, like, for the account managers that are looking at pretty much everything. They have like monday.com they use to, for project management, a lot of the internal teams, talking to each other. We use a lot of, the different Amazon tools to track profitability, and all those things, and then we have to, grab data here and here and here and put it together on our own software sometimes, to bring visibility to things. But as far as project management software, I would think like the one that we use is monday.com probably would be the
Nice.
answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. We used to, I signed up for the trial and I liked it, but getting our team on board was a little challenging. So
Yeah.
last year we got onto ClickUp,
ClickUp. Okay.
and that's been
Nice.
game changer. That's been ClickUp
Nice.
and Slack have been Jordan and Pippen, if you're a basketball fan. So yeah, it's been really helpful for us. I know you mentioned interest rates going up, and obviously we all know it's kind of a flat season for however long it's going to be, recession and all that talk. But um, and it's affected e-commerce
Yes, it has.
heavily.
And I think we're just at the beginning personally.
Yeah, I do too. I think 24, maybe 25, but we
Yeah.
like there's nothing we can do on that. Like there's especially on Twitter, there's people that can complain and nag and go back and forth on politics. I understand, but when it comes to day to day in our operation and our team work, we got to do what we got to do. But kind of looking back on 22, what was the biggest challenge and lesson that you guys took away? And then I want to kind of follow it up with 23, but kind of biggest challenge and lesson that took away from 22.
Okay. Well, we outgrew in 22. If I'm thinking January 22, obviously we had outgrew our first facility. Um, we moved into a lot larger facility, and that was a huge challenge. And we also tripled our workforce last year, which was, and then we implemented EOS and all of these things. So it's been a huge learning, taking from a small team of, like of one just 5 years ago to now we have 32. That we a lot of that work was done last year, a lot of foundational things, just getting all the basics right, all the foundational things. And so we actually couldn't bring in as much sales as we would want to, as I would have wanted to, because we were focusing so much on getting operations right. And I mean, obviously we still have a lot to do, to get operations better and better and better. We're never going to be done, but especially as we scale. So last year was kind of like the flat stair step year for us, where how it's, we had incredible growth, like 19, 20, 22 is kind of like, okay, we need to like settle down and really, if we really want to get to that next level, and be, uh, hundreds of millions in revenue in the next couple of years, we really need to make sure our foundation's right. And a lot of my mentors told me that, make sure your SOPs are right, focus on that. And so, implementing EOS, all those things. So that for us, that was our challenge. And yeah, I think the team did a great job, and we have hired a really good team. I feel like, And it's been super awesome. But 20 so you know I 23, I think that for us as a company, our challenge is just going to be really focusing on onboarding new partnerships and growing the company. We have a pretty good pipeline, like I said, and so we're excited, but just executing on that, growing all these brands, and it is going to be huge. And then also, like you said, on more of a macroeconomical way, thinking about interest rates, not holding too much inventory, trying to, a lot of suppliers are flush with inventory, so working out deals with the manufacturers and suppliers, to help with our cash flow, and their cash flow in something that's mutual beneficial is going to be really a big focus. And because we definitely got skin in the game, so it's very important that we have a good cash flow. And also, sales, we who I think it's going to be fairly flat, like you said, or even lower, because there's a lot of people that are going to be dumping inventory. A lot of our competitors are going to be lowering prices and dumping inventory. So if we try to keep price points high, then it could cause less sales from us. So you were already seeing that. You can even bring back Tesla. I mean, Tesla like sliced the prices of their cars like 20% or 15% just the other day. And there's a lot of other companies that are doing it in the e-com space. I mean, I got suppliers calling me saying like, "Hey, I got $3 million in inventory. I'll sell it to you for 50% off of wholesale," like that, and all these things. And it's like, we're just at the beginning of 23, like, because they realized they didn't sell all as much as they wanted to during last Q4. So, I think we're gonna have to work smarter and not harder, and be smart on where we spend our money, and make sure that we have the good return, but also really focusing on the companies that we do work with. Are they on a upward trend or downward trend? And I actually am working on a project right now that I for a couple of years is called ecomtrendfinder.com, and I just allowed like other sellers to take a look at it. I mean, it's something you definitely should take a look at and mess around with, where I'm
Yeah,
taking Amazon brand analytics data and finding trends, finding things that the customers on Amazon that are typing in on the search bar. What are they looking for? What's trending? What's blowing up in the space? And how can we be a part of those trends early, right? And I think like working smarter like that is really a focus. And uh, so yeah, I would love anybody's feedback if they want to go on that website. It's completely free. It's just me and a buddy putting it together like, hey, let's do this. This is going to help our business. So it's and we love everybody's feedback on how we can make that better. So that's uh shameless plug on our little
yeah.
project.
I would
But
love to check that out. You said ecomtrendfinder.com.
yeah, yeah, and it's just like I said, there's not a lot of sellers that have. I mean, I think I have like right now like 10 or 15 seller friends that have messed around with it and are giving us feedback on how it can help the community. And it's so yeah, mess around with it, and yeah,
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out and link it in the description as well.
sure.
And yeah, you are right in saying at the 3PL, we had several clients probably amount to 300 plus pallets that
Hmm.
they're trying to liquidate. I think
They
it's
have, yeah.
probably more than that, but we have
Wow.
liquidation partners that they're working with. Because yeah,
Wow.
it's just those products have been inundated on Amazon and everyone's selling the same stuff. Prices have dropped, so they just need to move out as much goods as they can. So
That's
yeah,
terrible.
everyone's definitely feeling the heat, and you're right. We need to be creative. Maybe there's bundling opportunities. Maybe there's cross sell, upsell, downsell, um, giving more to the loyal customers, like spend 100 get 100, spend 100 get 50, just promoting more sales to people who are buying while trying to pick up some additional customers along the way. So
I will say for me, I'm really I'm super happy that my company's always been profitable from day one, and we're very bootstrap mentality. So like a lot of these companies that are drunk on investment money or whatever are going to go bankrupt this year and next year. So I'm super excited about that, letting all the weak sellers and people that are just leeches onto the system,
Mhm.
letting them die out. I think it's healthy for the market. It's healthy for the economy. It's been way too bloated. So, and especially, for companies like mine that I have to be profitable, I hate competing with people that are just blowing money that don't need to be profitable. So I'm excited about that. That's one
Yeah,
good thing.
yeah, for
If you're a
sure.
profitable, if you're a profitable good company, then you'll have a great year. If
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Definitely, the biggest opportunity lies ahead. Cool, man. Well, this has been helpful for me, just understanding more of and layering more on top of you and what you guys are doing. Kind of wrapping this up, how can people connect with you? You're very smart and knowledgeable in Amazon and ecom. I would like people to connect, message, reach out, ask questions if they have.
Absolutely. I feel like I have a lot of people to connect with still. I went to ASGTG last week ago or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was, and that was a lot of fun meeting with a lot of big sellers. Just to talk to other people that do the thing. I went to Prosper last year, went to Amazon Accelerate. I have a friend who's starting a conference called it's going to be called ecomsummit.com. Excited to go to that this year. I'm going to Prosper again. I'm going to go to Affiliate Summit West. I'm trying to network. I'm trying to, so if you're at any of these shows that I've mentioned, I'd love to connect with you at the show. But before then, definitely connect with me on LinkedIn. Is definitely the best place is LinkedIn, and Isaiah Fritz, online selling partner. I come up, and yeah, that's the biggest thing. LinkedIn.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna leave your LinkedIn in the description. Also, we'll leave your site, and then I'm gonna check out Ecom Trend Finder, test that out, and also leave
It's
as well.
hey, it's a nerdy site, man. It's not pretty, but
Oh,
it's
that's
it's
fun.
it's it's for the nerds.
That's fun. I'm gonna have fun with it. Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We'll definitely stay in touch and chat later.
Hey, absolutely, man. Anytime. Thank you for having me on the podcast.